It is the same soul who seeks the truth through science or through religion. It's the quest for truth. You can go to study matter. You can go to study the mentality. They have to arrive at the same truth. The truth is one. The truth is the same. The knowledge of science and the knowledge of religion should be the same because truth is the same, but it isn't. The battle between science and religion is intense. It's very serious. There's a tremendous division between what science has found and what religion has found. Why is that? The reason is really simple, and it's taken me a lifetime to realize its simplicity. Religion doesn't believe that the soul is valuable. Religion believes there's a spirit, there's a creator, there's a father, there's a vacuum, there's a void up in the sky somewhere that is more valuable than the soul itself. Right? That the individual doesn't have value in religion. The individual has to be dissolved. It has to be destroyed. It has to be meditated. It has to be given up to some higher entity or some higher deity. Here is the problem. In science, the findings of science show that there is no creation. Life is extremely old. 5.54 billion years, measured by scientific equipment that can measure the ages of rocks. We have that technology. It's a proven technology, right? Religion, at its highest, the earth is 10,000 years old. That's outrageous. Compared to 5.54 billion years, which is proven. We have seen dinosaur bones and old in the Grand Canyon. There is a history of life that has been studied, and life is very ancient. It's very old. Life is very difficult because there is no creator. We suffer so much because there isn't a creator. We are dependent on the evolution of life. Whatever the evolution of life has as its disposal, well, that's what it has to live with. If we go to the hospital and they don't understand our medical condition, or they don't have the medication or the procedure to save our lives, then we can die because life evolution is limited. We used to live 30 years way back. In fact, at the time where all the big religions, Judaism, Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, and Buddhism, when all these religions started, life on earth was 10 times more damned than it is today. It was thought at the time the earth was flat, and therefore the spirit was in the sky. There is no sky. You can be praying downward, and you could be praying to the sky. The sky is all over the place. This planet is round. It's a sphere. Religion didn't know that. The spirit is omniscient, omnipotent, and omnipresent, but it doesn't understand the facts of life that were discovered by science. Science needs proof of things. Religion needs faith. Faith is not proof. It's not the same thing. Faith is good even if that faith is not justified, because faith helps life evolve. If you have faith in a statue even, never mind a God in the sky, if you just have a faith in a statue, like in the Ten Commandments, the Pharaoh had faith in some kind of statue to save his son. Well, the statues or anything that one has faith in will help the soul cross through hurdles. Faith is a power in the soul that helps the soul evolve and get stronger and find solutions to its problems. Darwin found the evolution of species. Darwin found the truth about this game. Darwin just didn't find the evolution of species. Okay? The evolution is the truth of this game. The evolution of what? of life. Life is evil. What is life? Life, I believe, is something that came out of the death of stars. Life is a force that is trying to get out of the bondage of death. It's as if life is entombed in a rock of death, and it's trying to evolve to overcome this death. This game is the game of life and death. It is not the game of the human ego versus the animal ego, which is what religion has found. This is why religion and science differ. Science is more grounded in reality than religion is. Religion is flighty, escapist. It doesn't like the animal self. It doesn't like the physical self. It doesn't like matter, and it's trying to escape to higher grounds for solace. Escapism cannot get to the truth. Okay? Science is not escapist. That's why it's closer to the truth, and it's finding very, very different facts than religion. The human being is a monkey that has mutated. Life grows through mutation. Darwin was correct. Life is very difficult. Species come out of other species. This is how the mutations are going on even now. The viruses that we have that attack humans mutate. They change to become stronger to antibiotics, and the old antibiotics don't even work. Mutation is a fact of life species. Even humans mutate. All right. Life evolution is a quest for the divinity of life, which means evolution is an attempt for life to become immortal, but through real means and real struggles over billions of years. Right? Divinity is the climax of life evolution, which means when life evolution will be successful, true divinity of the soul will become a fact. Divinity is not in the sky. Divinity is what's evolving. We are potentially divine if we evolve, if we find the mind, if we find the body, if we mutate, if we change enough, if we understand things enough, if we get strong enough, intelligent enough, right, to beat death, which is what life on this planet and everywhere in the universe is trying to do. Life basically is fighting death. That's what's happening in this game. Religion doesn't understand this. Religion doesn't understand that life on earth is very much the treasure. Life on earth is what matters. The afterlife doesn't matter too much. It's the affairs of dead souls and carcasses and phantoms that are going to come back to the living eventually, whether they want it or not. When it comes to the elements, the old religions found earth, water, fire, air, and space. In Hinduism, Buddha, these are, in fact, there's 118 different matters in the periodic table of elements. And there's an electrical nature to matter, which the old religions didn't know. At that time, at the time of Jesus, at the time of Judaism and the Buddha and Islam, we didn't understand the nature of matter. We thought matter was basically manure, dirt. Matter is not dirt. Matter is where life evolves from. It needs matter to grow like a plant needs the earth to grow. There's a lot of different things, and it is an electrical nature. Right? But religion doesn't understand that matter is valuable and therefore tries to escape matter to the highest. Spiritualism is basically the opposite of materialism. Spirit and matter are kind of enemies. The spirit wants out of matter, right? And if somebody is material, they want to cling to matter and forget any kind of spirituality. Life is the mystery. Life emerged from the death of stars, like a black hole. A black hole is a star that is dead and that has a pressure that is so intense that even light can't get out. But if there's a sufficient amount of pressure in there, I believe that life is something that can come out of the death of the star to try. We have such a desire to exist because in our past, in the soul's past, there was a tremendous death. That's the sign. We want to live because we died in the past. And that death is the death of stars. In religion and in spiritualism, you meditate on the soul. The positive of religion is that it finds the soul. I went into the religion business for 7 years and I found my soul, except that my soul was directed to the spirit immediately. There's an elevator waiting for you to go up to the spirit, like the spirit is the biggest treasure of all time. This is the big mistake of religion. It finds the soul, but then it sells the soul to some kind of entity which it believes is the creator. There is no creator. Life is an evolution of life is an evolution of an entity that seeks to find itself and seeks to become immortal itself. Religion was a way to survive. Religion was a way to go through intensive misery, intensive poverty of the past. Very short lifespans of 30 years. There were no antibiotics. People died at 30 years old, 25 years old. People who passed the age of 50 at that time were very, very rare. So there wasn't much expectation at the time the religions were founded that there could be paradise on earth. But evolution is trying to find paradise on earth for the soul. Paradise, the site of paradise is here on this planet. It is not in the sky of the dead. If you die, you're not going to go to paradise. If you die, you're going to find peace. And that peace can be very blissful. It can be very, very, fulfilling to be at peace after a life of trouble, a life of turmoil and suffering. But the sky of the dead is not paradise. The sky of the dead is simply peace. It's very easy to develop a sense that our life on earth is damned and therefore there has to be something better in the sky. There wasn't much pleasure at the time of Jesus available to the people. If we're selling pleasure in the sky, happiness in the sky was very easy to sell. It's a very easy sale. When somebody is suffering, when somebody can't even eat, when they're being attacked by and taxed by Romans, it's not very difficult to sell a kingdom of heaven when you die. It wasn't that Jesus was malicious. He was just in error. He was a searcher of truth who was in error. Life on earth is what is valuable. Life of the dead is not valuable. So in conclusion, science and religion have to find the same truth, right? But that will only happen when religion starts to worship the soul itself. It is the nature of the soul itself, meditating on the soul itself, that brings the truth, not on the spirit. I have found a different kind of meditation I call core meditation because it concentrates on the nature of the soul, which is life evolution. Life evolution is the soul. It is the same soul that is in the rabbit, that is in the lion, that is in all species. Anything that wants to live and not die has a soul. The same soul. It's the capacity to know that soul that is different in different species. In humanity, we have multiple faculties. We have a physical IQ. We have an animal IQ. We have an emotional IQ. We have an intellectual IQ. And we have a soul IQ. It is that IQ that needs to grow in order to get that kind of mutation, that kind of development, where one day life will beat death on this planet and become immortal.